What's up, guys? How you doing? It's your boy back with a video. I haven't uploaded in a while, but I figured it'd be a good time, as good as any, to record this video, and without thinking about editing or anything like that. I'd rather just, freestyle it and, kind of let whatever I say be ink, I am upset. I am mortified. I am sad. I'm devastated. I'm all sorts of ways. Feelings all over the place. I don't know how to really properly put them together and align them to be able to dissect them, to put them together so I can tackle them individually, because there's just a huge wave. It's like an ocean wave where you want to catch the water and you lift it up and then you got it there for a second. But, any tiny hole in there, the water's gonna fall. Maybe you figured it out by now, but I'm talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It happened Wednesday, a day where I am usually very happy for. I'm usually very excited because I get to go see my daughter. Okay, as I was saying, it is a day that I get to see my daughter. Every Wednesday. And well, on top of other days that I get to see her. But every Wednesday, I have a non-negotiable at my job that I will never work a Wednesday. Wednesday evening, because those are reserved for my daughter. Where, it's not like I try to devote my full attention to her those days, but I'm not perfect. So, usually I look forward to those days. Middle of the week. Wow, it's just embarrassing. However, this past week, this Wednesday, it was debatably, I'm sure there'll be more to come, but one of the hardest that I've had to deal with. I was usually, I run every day, or Monday through Friday I try to run Today I didn't run because, you know, it's Saturday. And I was happy on the treadmill. You know, about to do my 3-mile jog before I go hit the weights and whatnot. And I, you know, before I start my run, I try to stretch and warm up and all that stuff. And I look at my phone, you know, just to put on some music. And in a group chat, I see, whoa, you know, the guys in my engineering group chat talking about Charlie Kirk just got shot, you know. And when I first read that, my first instinct was, you know, controversial, good, right? He's about to. It's the same situation as Trump. You know, it's not good. But I'm thinking, they thought they could take him down. They thought they could silence him. They really thought they could. But watch this. He's about to use that as leverage and, you know, take it to greater powers. Do something completely, like, he just ramp it up, you know. That was my initial thought. I'm thinking this guy's about to pull through, you know, because, excuse me. Because, you know, that's just the kind of guy he is, you know. You know, I don't know the guy personally, but I can tell by his character, by his bravado, that's just the kind of person he is. And then I saw the video. One of the guys says, "You guys want to see the video?" And I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm hesitant to watch the video. Like, in fact, I wasn't really that interested. I was just kind of like, okay, I'm about to run. I gotta lock in on my running, but I am genuinely interested by this. Then I look up, and it's like all the screens are like right in front of the treadmill, and I see Fox News, CNN, the other news station. There's like 3 news TVs in front of the treadmills at the gym I go to. They're all breaking news, and I'm thinking, yo, this is actually fucking serious. Jesus fucking Christ. And then I saw the video. I clicked on it. I saw the video. And it's one of the most horrifying visuals I've ever seen in my life. Pure evil, pure hatred just manifested into just a it's a 2-3 second clip. Just an accumulation of just evil that it's just so hard to put into words, you know. But yeah, I do agree there's like a whole bunch of evil people, a bunch of psychopaths in the world. I get it, but to just see this happen to someone that's being outspoken and general, you know, tolerable towards differing opinions, and just, you know, his whole mission was to just make you question things, you know. Call him a modern day philosopher, you know. But to just see him get shut down like that, like a dog, dude, it is horrifying. I'm still in disbelief. Just that they're willing to shut him down like that. What about us? What about the people that don't have such a high following? They're willing to shut down all of us, everybody. it's just, it's insane. You know? I've been following this guy since 2020, so it's about 5 years now. Yeah. I first kind of saw him pull up into the scene. I'm sure he was already on the scene, but back when Donald Trump was running for president for re-election, and he lost to Joe Biden. You know, that was when I was all into the Black Lives Matter thing. You know, I bought into that whole thing. But I think it was it wasn't like a riot, but we kind of went to like a nearby Walmart because everybody's just, you know, everybody's looking to loot something. So there was a Walmart that we all over ways away. You know, it was just like a really conflicting time. I'm sure if you experienced that, you kind of remember that, you know, it's just, you know, a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. And yeah, I was one of the people that was there, you know, ready to go inside and start, you know, I don't know, doing something. I wasn't really planning on, maybe I was, I don't know. I was just, you know, crowd mindset, you know. And then at one point we all just got too close to the Walmart where the police started doing like rubber bullets or whatever. I got hit in the back. It hurt a lot. That was crazy. I didn't know rubber bullets could hurt so much. So then we all kind of went backwards and went into the Lowe's and started like pillaging the garden area, which well, we went back to the crib because we all started doing all that. We're like, oh shit, we should probably get out of here. So we went back home, and then we're like my roommate and I were feeling kind of like, dude, we just destroyed plans. Why did we do that? We just literally tore down a bunch of plants and like started damn near setting them on fire. So I felt guilty, you know. So I'm thinking, you know, we should go back and try and clean some of them up, you know. So we did, and well, the cops were there, and they were like, "What the hell are you guys doing? Get out of here!" One of my buddies was one of them, he was on live TV actually talking about a bunch of bullshit. They were like, "Why are you doing this, sir? Why are you out here?" He's just like talking, dude. It was on the news. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I think that I was confused. So I kind of went back home and I started kind of just, you know, reading more into it about why just how some things were set up for me to think. That's when I came across him and I thought, man, this guy is super fast, quick. He's like a better version of Ben Shapiro. And, you know, quick to think, you know, we questioned, you know, I think it was him, Ben Shapiro, and Steven Crowder that I got really into. Not that I was, you know, turning like a complete right-wing person, but I was just kind of, you know, at that point, the political state of the country and of the world was kind of like, you had to pick a side kind of thing. And I wanted to know more about my side that I'm picking. So I wanted to get a little bit more in depth about it. And you know, kind of learn, I just wanted to know what the hell I believed in. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's when I came across him on YouTube and I started following him, you know? I even tried to, I signed up for the Turning Point chapter or something. I tried to make a chapter over at my local university, but it just seemed like a lot of work that I wasn't really, you know, at that point I wasn't really that into, like I wasn't trying to be a politician or anything. And it just seemed like something like, I mean, I just kind of wanted to solidify my beliefs, but I didn't really want to go around preaching them, you know? I just kind of wanted to be aware myself and kind of, all right, cool, this is what I believe in. Now I can kind of have my own stance on things. And whenever somebody talks to me about him, I can tell him my opinion, and I can back it up. I just wanted to conversate, be able to conversate, not be able to convince other people, but be able to if I had to. And I remember taking a lot of his taglines and a lot of his info and using it. Trying to memorize it. I have a bunch of notes on my phone about just stats, and quotes from him. So that was about 5-6 years ago. And yeah, I kind of, all right, cool. This guy's pretty cool. He's funny. And I saw him get viral throughout the years. His controversial statements, his change my mind thing, or debate anybody and whatever. And I saw them every now and then, but just for fun, sometimes I would look up Charlie Kirk destroys, liberal, and I thought it was like, yeah, dude's on the nail with it. And I didn't really think too much of it anymore, because I don't really like politics at this point, or at that point, or at this point at all. I don't know. So yeah, he's been he was like a guiding force in me finding my identity, the same way I aligned myself with the moral values of more, I guess I want to say, conservative beliefs, but I'm also very liberal in my religious beliefs. I'd say that's a good way to put it. Maybe that's right, but I'm not like completely Christian. I'm a God believer, but to like a scientific extent, my faith isn't like, it's not crazy. I don't believe that people can just lift water with their hands. I'm sure there's a scientific reason for it. Anyways, I went to his vigil tonight here, local, and it was something, man. It's just so hard to put into words how somebody that you don't even know, how something like this can make you feel. And if anybody feels some sort of way, like something's missing, like you're trying to move around, you're trying to move about normal life, like it's all okay, I guess just accept that maybe, it's okay to not be okay, at some point, it just I thought it would be easier throughout the days. Like the first day that it happened, I was just in shock. It was just utter disbelief. Like, nah, there's no way. I'm gonna go to sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up, and it's not gonna be a thing, Like, I got like 8 hours of sleep Wednesday, and that was the only day I got good sleep. The day that it happened, which is crazy. I got good sleep Wednesday. Got about 8 hours. Took my daughter to school the next morning. Like nothing happened. That night, I went to a concert that I took a bunch of videos for, so I'll try and upload those here soon. So it was like I wasn't really processing it yet. I was like more like kind of dealing with other things in my life and I had a quiz as well, so I was just busy, like I couldn't really process it. And then I guess after I got back from the concert on Thursday, I got back home and I'm thinking, I just had a bunch of fun. And it was awesome, it was ecstasy. And I'm back to reality now for a little bit. And then I'm dealing with these, I just started going on social media and I'm just seeing all these things, man. They're just vile, people celebrating the death of somebody that, didn't agree with their opinions. It was just soul crushing. Like, since when do we as a society become so extremely divided and cruel that we're making 3D figures of a man that was really just trying to open up a conversation? And he was just sharing his thoughts. So how can we, as people who are just normal people going about their lives, share our opinions and not be scared, knowing that at any point somebody with a sniper rifle who just doesn't agree with you is going to shoot you down, or something else happen? I mean, it's just straight out of a fucking movie, man. And of all people, really him? One of the nice ones? A nice guy, he was 31 years old. Like, Jesus Christ. Dude hasn't even started living yet, and he was already accomplishing so fucking much. Imagine what he could have accomplished, when he was about like 60. 30 years from now, I wouldn't feel maybe I don't want to say that, but 31 years old, dude. I'm 27. And it pains me to know that there's just so much hatred in this world. We lost one of the good ones for really no practical reason. Just no real concrete reason. Just dude in his feelings that wasn't able to control himself. This makes me think of that Andrew Tate quote where he's like, if you just get a bunch of men spilling out their feelings, you get a bunch of school shooters. People that can't, control themselves. And fuck, man, I think that one hits. Because it's, pretty true. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It's a crazy, fucked up world we live in, guys. But I guess the question is, what are we gonna do about it now? What are we as a society supposed to do to alleviate the pain that we're experiencing? I have no fucking idea. I don't know. If that's a question you're asking yourself, fucking dude, I have no idea. And I probably never will. But all I know is that I can just keep doing what I know is right. Get stronger, protect my family, study, do things that I like, get involved in my community. Fuck, man. I'm gonna start going to church. That's the video. I think I said enough. God bless his family. God bless this nation. God bless this world. This beautiful, beautiful world that we live in. All right. Get out of here. Peace.